Choosing which gun to use in Gray Zone Warfare can be very difficult, so today I'm going to show you some of the best beginner loadouts to use as soon as you get into the game, and a couple a little further down the line that you can get excited for. If you like today's video, leave a like, subscribe, don't forget to follow me on Twitch, and let's hop right into it. So the first thing we are going to do is we have a full kit ready, and we are going to take a helicopter into Charlie 1LZ, which is Kui Vongza, however you say it. This is the starter village or starter town for Crimson, but again, if you're in Lamang, it's going to be Falang. That kind of rhymes. And if you're in Mithras, it's going to be Nam Tavin. So we're basically going to go into this town, loot some of the NPCs, grab some guns, come back, and show you guys what you can make. Because I know when you're starting this game, depending on what version you bought, you're going to have a couple different guns. Okay, so we have just arrived at Charlie 1. We are about to go into the village and find some of the NPCs, see what guns they have on them. They'll more than likely have some type of AK. They could also have like a single shot M4 type weapon called the CQ, I believe. We'll see what's going on here. NPC in the middle of the road over there. Let's just hit him in the head real quick. Boop. And he's down. Now, I believe he was holding an AK. Let's see what type of AK he has, because there's a couple different variants. So we have one NPC on the ground right here. Let's see what this guy had. Let's see what he had. An AKM. I think that's what the other guy is going to have. So let's bring that with us. We'll bring a couple different weapons. I think we can fit about 3 in our bag. Let's see what this guy was carrying. An AKM. Yep, AKM again. Let's see if we can find a little bit of a variety. I don't know if we will, but we'll see what we can do here. This guy had an SKS. Okay, there we go. A little something different there. Oh, that's an NPC. Oh, these are... Oh, my God. I mean, that's teammates. I almost freaking... Oh, this guy has a... Okay, we have a good amount of variety, actually. This is actually pretty nice. Okay, so I think we have a decent amount of weapons. We have an SKS, we have a VZ, and we have a AKM. So let's go back to base and see what we can actually make of weapons that we literally just found. Now, our heli isn't here yet, and I see an NPC all the way down there. Maybe if we can just headshot him real quick. Let's see what he has on him. I think it was an AK as well, but when you just start the game, don't expect to make like insane loadouts, but you can make some pretty solid stuff with all right scopes. Oh, this is the gun I was talking about. This actually works out perfectly because now I can show you guys how to build this gun as well. Perfect. It actually was a very, very good find right there. So we have 4 different guns that we can kind of go over. I am not going to make this heli one bit, so that's awesome. So we're finally back at base, and these are the guns that I collected. We have the VZ, the CQ, the SKS, and the AKM. Out of these 4 guns, personally, for the best starter kit, I think the CQ is very, very good. It is a single shot weapon, but I kind of like that. So this is what's on the CQ right away, and honestly, it's not too bad of a build as a starter weapon. The only thing that I would change is the reticle and the muzzle, just due to the fact that I always have a suppressor on all my guns. But when you first start the game, until you get gunny level 2 right over here, if we go to vendors, we go to gunny, until you get gunny level 2, you can't really put a suppressor on any of these M4 variants. I say M4 variants, but the CQ, in my head, it's basically an M4 variant, even though it's not. Now, one thing that this game does very, very well is it actually helps you learn what attachments can go on the weapon. So let's say I'm looking for the CQ. If I double tap on this while I have gunny opened, it highlights every single attachment that can go on this weapon. Like, you know that this M870 walnut will not be able to go on this gun. Everything that's highlighted in the yellow box can actually go on the weapon, which is pretty cool. So for this gun, we're going to do a couple different things. We're going to take off this scope because this T1 scope is not ideal. I'll show you it in game real quick, but essentially, it's pretty bad. I really don't like it at all. If you look in the scope, it's just a little red dot. It's pretty small, nothing too crazy. It looks like a normal red dot, but I don't really like it that much. I like more of a holographic sight on my gun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to gunny. I'm going to double click on my weapon, and I'm going to switch out this scope. We're going to take the T1 off. We're going to go over here. We're going to double click on the weapon so I see what's compatible with the weapon. I could buy one of these, like a Spectre is a different scope as well. The ACOG is a pretty good scope right here, if you guys can see. This ACOG is a 4 times, and this Spectre is a 1-4. So I'll buy both for you guys. I'll buy the Spectre real quick. Then I'll also buy one of these ACOG scopes. They're called right here up top EXP scopes. They're pretty good. Some of them have different reticles. Like if you click on the reticle, it says circle 2 dot. You click on this one, it says circle 1 dot. You click on this one, it just says 1 dot. There's no circle. You click on this. This is similar to the site we just had. We're going to go for the circle 2 dot scope. So let's buy one of those. And now we're going to trade, and let's see what these guns look like. So for the Spectre, if I want to put this Spectre on, I can't just drag it on right away. I have to take this mount off first. So once I take that mount off, then I can put the Spectre sight on the rail. And if you double click on the Spectre sight, again, it's a 1-4 scope. Now let me put the gun on so you guys can actually see what the scope looks like, and maybe you guys will love it. Who knows? But right here it is. You scope in. This is the 1x. And if you mouse scroll wheel forward, it goes to 4x. So 1x, 4x, 1x, 4x. It's honestly pretty good because with this gun, again, it is a single shot weapon, which is pretty good for the starter village because the AI aren't really insane. You can one tap them pretty easily, but again, you can just kind of spray it, and honestly, it's not too bad of a scope. Now for the other scope that we just had, we're going to take off our Spectre. We're going to put our AXPS scope on the Calamiter, or however you say it, don't really know. Let's reload real quick, get some ammo in this gun. And now this scope isn't too bad. As you see, it has 2 dots in the middle. You can barely see, but it does have 2 dots in the middle of the reticle. If I scope into something dark, like right there, you can see the 2 dots in the middle. Honestly, it's not that bad of a scope. It actually is pretty accurate, but this is probably my favorite scope depending on where I'm going for that raid. Let's say I'm going down to YBL near the bunker. I'm going to take this HCOG scope. Let's say I'm going to Phalang Airfield or Hunter's Paradise or Bon Pas, something with more open space. I'm taking that 1 to 4 times scope just because I want to have that zoomage available to me. The CQ is probably my favorite starter weapon in this whole game. That's my personal opinion. Now we have the AKM. The AKM isn't bad at all. It's not my favorite, but it's not bad at all. It's not a great beginner gun just because you need to go to Artisan to really get attachments for the gun. There's not a lot more we can do besides, like, say, throw a muzzle on the AK if you want. You could just steal it off another AK, or, I mean, look, I'm taking this off an AKMN that I got from a quest. You could throw it on there or buy one from a vendor. Again, you can't really do much with the AKM, but if we go over to the AKMN, this is a better version of the AK. We can do a little bit more here, like right here. The BP02 mount, we can throw that on there. And then if we want to throw a scope on there, like the 1 to 4, or we want to throw the EXP scope on there, we can do that. So again, in the beginning, it's going to be tough. That's why I would recommend that CQ gun, because you can actually put stuff on the weapon, unlike the AK. But now we go over to this SKS. This SKS isn't great. This is the very first SKS that you'll find in the game. As you see here, I also have another SKS, and you can see the amount of attachments that each gun can have. This SKS is significantly better than this one, but again, you get this one on the right a little bit further down in the game. And same goes for this Scorpion. You can't put much on it. Again, you see you only have a muzzle device left to put on this gun. So best gun to use in the beginning of the game is going to be this CQ-A1. If you are down bad, if you don't have M4s left, make this CQ-A1. If you made it this far in the video, I'll show you what I build for my CQ-A1. Since I have a little bit more options, I have all my vendors at level 2 already, except for Banshee. I'm going to go right here to my CQ, take my muzzle off of this gun. I'm going to go over here to my AK, drag over my suppressor, and I'm going to drag over my sight like my Spectre, and now my CQ is actually how I want it to look. Now this CQ is basically the best it's going to get for these early game weapons. Again, it's not a bad gun at all. Again, you can see it shoots pretty straight. All the bullets are pretty linear. They're all in a good little pile there. 1X isn't bad too. Like if you want, you can kind of spray it really well. But again, it is a one-shot weapon. It's a very, very, very good gun to have, especially in the early village. So this was a short little video just trying to explain how you can use the early game weapons to the best of your ability, and that the CQ-A1 is going to be your best option hands down. Now, if you did enjoy this short little video, leave a like and subscribe. I have a lot more stuff coming out of this game once I learn a lot more about everything. So with that being said, I'll see you in the next one. Adios.